New collaborations. They are exciting and they are fresh and filled with possibility, but they are also filled with questions, uncertainty, and a lot of newness that can feel a bit uncomfortable at times. I mean, it probably took some time and effort on both of your parts to even come together and to write in the first place, both or even all three or more. So now the pressure's on, right? This is a great question that I received recently on one of my community posts here on the channel. The question was, how do you start a new collaboration and make it work? Hi, hello, yes. Welcome. Glad you're here live with me. There are quite a few things at play here, but let's explore what could be in the way and how to maneuver through those areas because we want our new collaborations not only to work, but to feel wonderful. I do want to start off by saying that there are tons, and I do mean tons of factors that could be at play here. Is this your first collaboration, or have you collaborated before? To collabor. That's a famous quote. You collabor me and I'll collabor you. What's that from? It's from a Sondheim show, maybe? So is this your first collaboration? Because that will feel very different from you are an experienced collaborator coming on in. Is there something new about this collaboration? For either you or this other person, or, well, I guess if there's three of you, is there something new about this collaboration for any of you, for all of you? Are you in a new role? Is it a new show genre you've never written in before? Is it an online collaboration for the first time versus in person? Are you doing hybrid? Are you writing together in the room for the first time? So that is something to bear in mind as well. Howdy! Oh, I love a howdy. Hi, hello. Is there a big difference in the demographics between you and your collaborator or collaborators? And is that creating some sort of barrier, a language barrier? I particularly see this a lot in an age gap across collaborations. Is this your first time collabing with someone? Or excuse me, with more than just one other person? Is this for the first time a three-person collaboration, four-person, more than that? Because that will also factor in. There's more factors. Here we go. Is this story one that you feel intimidated by, or that is bringing up some sort of emotions for you? I know that in the past for me, I have certainly walked into collaborations on stories where I'm like, this means something to me, and that scares me. And it alters the way that I feel about collaboration or the way that I approach collaboration. Is your new collaborator someone you view as being a name or having a status that feels higher or lower than yours? Which let's just acknowledge here that's completely like in our own minds when we put someone on a pedestal, think they're higher than us, lower than us, have a name, too important, all that stuff. That's like that imposter syndrome stuff coming out. That's ego. It's all ego stuff. So that could be a factor. And there are, of course, many, many more possible things that could come up here as well. So today I want to hit the major things to consider that can help you solve any issues that you feel or that are coming up for you so you can move more smoothly into your collaborative process. All right, so these questions come from a piece of the curriculum to the collaboration boot camp that I ran last fall, which I will likely be doing again either at the end of this year, though probably not. The reading I'm doing this coming month in November is pushing things. So I'll probably run the collaboration boot camp at the beginning of 2026, so keep an eye out for that. But all of these questions we're going to walk through are a piece of the curriculum from that boot camp. So here are some questions to consider so you can learn how to move through this. Also, just want to take a moment and just say if you are here with me live, feel free to interact, ask questions in the chat, do that sort of thing. We'll also do we'll do an ask me anything at the end as well. Also, happy Halloween and Samhain and Dia de los Muertos and All Saints and whatever it is you celebrate. Hey, it's a holiday. All right, so here are the questions. Question one is, what are you ideally looking for in a collaborator? What parts of the writing would you ideally like them to be able to write or to contribute to? Meaning, where do you see your weaknesses, your blind spots, your less comfortable areas? Right, so what you're ideally looking for in a collaborator is often going to be to help fill the gaps for where you feel like you either can't do something or don't want to do something, or you feel like you're not great at that thing, or just don't want to do that thing on this project. So, like, I don't know, if you're coming in and you are a lyricist and you're working with a composer, not because you can't compose, but maybe you don't feel confident in this style, or maybe you want someone else to be composing so you can focus on lyrics this time around. You've got to have a good sense of what ideally you would like them to be taking over in the responsibilities, and they need to have the same thoughts about you. You need to be able to communicate those things together. Okay. A lot of what we're going to talk about today is going to come down to communication. It is the most important thing. No question, the most important thing. All right, second set of questions here. Do you prefer strict boundaries between the different collaborative elements, or are you looking to share responsibilities and share work? So, another way to think about this is what will the ownership piece look like and feel like to you ideally? And do they feel the same way, your collaborators, do they feel the same way that you do? So, strict boundaries could look like I'm the book writer and lyricist, and I'm working with a composer. And so my boundaries might be I'm very happy to hear my composing collaborator's thoughts on book and lyrics, but I'm going to be the final say. And for them, that's got to be mutual then. For them, hopefully, they're interested in hearing my thoughts on the music, but final say goes to them, right? Whatever it is, whatever your boundaries are, could be a hard line of like, no, I don't want any of your thoughts, which makes it really hard to collaborate. Don't do that. But all the way to, yeah, I know I'm credited as book and lyrics, and I'll get final say, but I want you to work with me on the book and lyrics, right? And same thing with me. You just have to know what the ownership and the boundaries will look like for everybody. Is there I see that question. I will answer that. I'm gonna get through this portion first, then I'll answer that question. Is there a specific project you previously had in mind that your collaborator is joining you on? And if yes, how are each of you feeling about the idea of having slash being someone new coming onto an existing project? Are you open to new or different ideas in addition to what already existed before the collaboration began? This set of questions is incredibly important because the majority of people who come to me looking for a collaborator are like, yeah, I've been working on this for like a year, 2 years, 3 years. Been thinking about this for a decade. Like they come to me with an idea that they feel like they have ownership over, and maybe even a ton of work that they've already put into the show. They're like, but I need to collaborate to do these things I can't do. And it seems to me oftentimes that what they're not looking for is not so much like a collaborator, but like I just want someone to do what I can't do, and I don't want to go learn it. Like, okay, that we want to avoid, right? If you are looking to collaborate, then you have to be open to collaboration, which may make you feel a little icky. That's okay. A lot of the time, people are like, I want full control. It's my idea. But yeah, you can't have one party with full control and have it be a collaboration. And you go for work for hire. That's what you're looking for ultimately. You have to be open to the collaborative piece. But it is okay to have those feelings of like, I'm scared because then I won't have full control. That's okay. Okay, it's part of the process. And for the other person, or if it's you coming on to a new collaboration for the first time, signing on to an existing project, what thoughts and feelings come up for you on that? Of like, okay, I wasn't there for the inception of this work. But I like this work. I want to work on this work. I want to be a part of this team. You might have things that come up for you. And the idea here is to express these things to each other. We have to talk. Absolutely have to talk. Um, how did you end up here? I don't know how you ended up here. This is all about musical theater writing. So if you're a musical theater writer or you want to write a musical, you're in the right place. All right, last set of questions before I answer the question in the chat. What is your collaboration style? Do you prefer to write in the same room, in different rooms? Do you prefer to have the music first or the lyrics first? Do you want a book first before writing any of the songs? What are your preferences? What are your collaborators' preferences? Have you even discussed this at all? I can't tell you how many times I sit down with a collaborative team and they're like, okay, we're having some blocks, roadblocks. It's kind of like marriage counseling. It's wild to me. Coaching collaborators is so fun. We're having blocks. I begin diving in, and we discover that they each had different expectations on the collaborative style because they came in with a preference, but they never stayed that preference to each other. They just made assumptions that it was going to go the way that they prefer. But when that happens, we get paused, right? I will often have people complain, yes, actually complain to me, which don't complain about your collaborators. It's okay if you're in the same room with each other, with a third party, to speak about things. Well, let's try not to complain about them. Saying things to me like, well, I'm waiting for music. And they're like, no, I'm waiting for lyrics. Like, someone's got to jump first. Y'all gotta discuss this. And it's okay if you decide, like, okay, sometimes we'll do music first, sometimes we'll do lyrics first. But you have to know what each other's preferences are for collaboration style so you can know what you want to do and what you don't want to do. These things plays important. Um, French? Why? Uh, and like everyone has preferences, and sometimes you will have to take your preferences and put them to the side for a specific collaboration. I mean, I've never collaborated the same way twice, which means I'm constantly going outside the box. I know what I prefer. I absolutely know what I prefer. But what I prefer is just generally not what happens if I want my shows to be written and to keep going. So I come up with something new with my collaborator. We agree on something, and I get used to it, and they get used to it, and then we move on. Sometimes you have to put your preferences aside, but we do have to state them. We have to know them. We have to state them up front. Okay, I'm gonna pause right there and answer this question. Does the other person have to be alive, or can you take a public domain musical and put new songs into it? So the book writer has passed away. That's an interesting question to which I don't know that I have a good answer for that. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, and I would talk to a lawyer who knows something about public domain. But my assumption here is if a script is in the public domain, you could utilize it and add song material in because it's public domain. That being said, I don't know that for certain, but I would think so. I would also wonder about like underlying story. Is it an original story? Was that story adapted from something else? Are you cutting out other material that is copyrighted? Like, is there music that already exists in that script? And is the music or the lyrics still under copyright? These would be questions to explore. Good question. I don't know that I know the answer. Also, since we had the question, what's this channel about? Hi, hello. I'm musical theater writer guy. That is the name of the channel. So I'm your musical theater writing coach. That's what we're talking about here today. Is collaboration. Also, just to give a quick announcement here, there will be some new things coming to the Musical Theater Writing Collective, including a couple new tiers of membership. Um, People have been asking me for a little while about a free tier, and there was a lot of back end stuff that was difficult to make happen in order to have a free tier and a low paid tier for just utilization of things like the directories and stuff, which I will do a whole announcement about it because I'm creating something really cool that you all have been asking for years, and I just decided, okay, I'm just going to create it myself. So I'll talk more about that soon, but keep an eye out. So a free membership will be available. So it'll be a light membership, but it'll be free, so you can get all the freebies in one spot. You don't have to go through the email rigmarole to download PDFs and things. And then there's going to be a lower tier membership, and then obviously still the full membership. And the video course curriculum, that walks you through all the way through writing a musical will be a part of the full membership still coming soon. So I will keep y'all updated. This doing a reading this fall has definitely slowed me down on the business stuff. All right, back into our questions about collaboration stuff. Here we go. Hmm. What is your communication style? I said everything comes down to communication, so this is the key. What is your communication style? How do you best communicate? And does your communication slip or falter or change depending on certain feelings that come up for you? Hey, y'all, we are all humans. We are not robots, right? We can have the best of intentions on how to communicate with other people and get things across clearly and without letting our own emotions get in the way. But the reality of it is we're going to have feelings. Feelings are going to happen, and that will get in the way of communication. Your collaborators are also humans. They will have feelings that will get in the way. So things we need to know are what you like to do as a communicator, as well as what you like to receive as someone who receives communication, right? And having knowledge enough, awareness enough of like, okay, what things trigger you enough where you might get defensive, or you might shut down, or you might run away, or you might feel shame. Those things get in the way. They do. You have to know that about yourself. The other people have to know that about themselves. We got to know so that we can move through it, maneuver together as a group, because it's a team. You're a team. Don't forget that. What communication styles do you know turn you off? And are there ways that you know you would rather be spoken to versus ways that you know don't work for you? There are definitely some communication styles that I do not like in a collaborator. People who speak negatively, who are just negative about their own work, about my work, about any work, about the possibilities of moving forward, doesn't work for me. I don't like it. So I'm not going to communicate with people like that. You got to know what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Because if anything's a turn off, and that's how the other person communicates, and they're not willing to adjust that in any way, shape, or form, y'all are going to have a real hard time being in communication. You won't collaborate, so don't do it. That's a thought. All right. Hey, how do you prefer to communicate? Texts? Emails? Voice memos? Voice texting? A mixture of all the above? It's not just about the communication piece when you're together in a room speaking to one another. Yes, extremely important, but also, how do you prefer to communicate during collaboration? I like writing in the room with people. I love it. And also, sometimes I do have to just write things on my own solitarily and then send things, whether that's an idea or a thought or literally creating a piece of music and being like, here's a thing. So, how do people like to communicate with one another electronically? Also important. Are there any communication needs or quirks you have that a partner should be aware of? In terms of needs, one that has been expressed to me in the past, which was very fair and I like it, was I'm very happy to hear your thoughts on anything I write, but if you wouldn't mind telling me what's working first, that'd be great. And I was like, oh my God, yes, of course. I'm very happy to do that. That was a need that they expressed, and I'm happy to fulfill that. Uh, as far as quirks, um, yeah, that could be anything really. People have quirks. They have communication quirks, communication needs and quirks. How would you like to proceed in testing out a trial period of your collaboration? Because this question, when it came to me on the channel, was about new collaborations and making them work. This is something that I don't think we do enough. Like, lay out for each other like this is a trial period. We're going to start this project together. We're going to start working together, but we're not married. We might leave this in the dust. Who's to say? Right. So how would you like to proceed during the trial period? Do you want to get together and discuss the project in more depth? Do you want to speak about a specific project and see if it's a good fit? Would you like to try writing one-off songs for something like a cabaret or a tester for some sort of specific musical moment within in the piece you're working on? How do you want to try out collaboration to see how you're going to navigate each other? It is worth doing. If you know each other already and you just want to dive in together, that's okay. But if you don't know each other, have a trial period. Test something out. It's a good thing to do. At the very least, sit down together with a cup of coffee and talk in depth for hours. Because, y'all, a collaboration isn't a marriage, but it is a relationship. And y'all have to know each other. That's business. All right. From here, once you know all of these things that we just talked about with your about yourself and your collaborators, everything from there is just about experimenting and doing the freaking thing. Just sit down, collaborate, feel it out, try something, even if it puts you out of your comfort zone or puts them out of the comfort zone. As long as you're in good communication with one another and you are aware of yourself and how you like to collaborate, how you like to communicate, what feelings come up as you go through, everything is figure outable. It is. Be open, be communicative, acknowledge your fears along the way, acknowledge your mistakes along the way. You will mess up. That is okay. Acknowledge that, ask for forgiveness, and move on. And if they mess up, acknowledge that and forgive them, right? If it becomes a problem, that's a whole different story. Always make an effort to do better. Be integrous to yourself and to your way of writing, and always respect your collaborators and their way of writing as well. Don't forget, collaborations don't have to be forever. If you try it out and it doesn't work, that's okay. If you write a project together and like you feel like that's the one project we're gonna do together, that's also okay. You can collaborate with different people. You can change up your collaborations depending on what kind of a project it is. It's all okay. Be open to everything. Experiment and go. At the very outset, do you suggest some sort of informal interview? I wouldn't say an interview. I'd say a conversation. Because an interview sounds like you're hiring someone. If you if that's what you're planning to do, that's not a collaboration, that's work for hire. In which case, yeah, I would interview someone if I'm going to hire them. But I would just start with a conversation in general. If you're going to begin working together for the first time, sit down and talk about all these things. How you like to communicate, how you like to collaborate, what your boundaries are, your preferences. Know these things about each other. Also, like things that are good to discuss are like how much time do each of you have? How much will you be dedicating specifically to this project? How often do you want to meet? How do you want to talk? All these important things, I think is a great thing to sit down and do. It's good to just get to know each other and be working together. Um, and that could be a more general conversation or sit down and converse about the piece that you're going to write. Absolutely. Definitely start off with a conversation. 100%. I am through the stuff I plan to talk about. So, if you have questions, other questions on this topic, now's a good time. If you have questions about other things, musical theater writing wise, that's good. That's cool. I'll be around for the next up to 20 minutes for Ask Me Anything or Ask Me Stuff About This. Feel free to type away, friends, type away. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to put comments or questions in the comments as well. I am usually pretty good about going back and answering those. Also, out of curiosity, is anyone watching this live vertically on YouTube? Because theoretically, this also goes to vertical video lives, and I don't know if that's actually happening. So let me know if that's occurring. I'd be very curious to know. And then, like I said, changes coming to Musical Theater Writing Collective. Very exciting stuff. I'm excited to offer a free tier of membership as well as a separate tier that is more about well, honestly, a large piece of it is going to be about finding collaborators. So if that is something you want, you'll be able to do so. And continuing to fill out the full tier, which also we now have a community manager, which is very exciting. Huzzah! We're growing the team slowly but surely. Woo! It's been a long time doing everything myself, so it's kind of wild. Just normal YouTube for you. All right, good to know. I know that the lives get watched on TV quite a bit. Um, But yeah, I guess this new YouTube rollout of it should be available in vertical format as well is interesting. It's a smart choice on their part. Pardon me. Woo! Gin straight up the nose. All right. If there are no questions, we can just peace out for today. I assume there would be questions. Everyone always asks me about collaboration stuff because collaboration is big. It's important. And also, it's a little bit scary. I love collaborating and also starting a new collaboration or an old collaboration on a new project always feels a little bit scary. It's kind of fun though. Fight. All right. I'll wait a moment to see if anyone else has a question in here before we what point do you enter into a collaboration agreement? I made a whole video about that. Oh, here, let me pull that up. I'll drop it in the chat. 'Cause yeah, collaboration agreements are important. And so this video breaks them down and also talks about the answer to that question, some other questions. Collaboration agreement. Here it is. Grabbing the link and dropping it for you. I would strongly suggest giving that a watch and a rewatch and a rewatch. Um, Bottom top pattern, is that normal? I don't know what bottom top pattern means. Could you say more about bottom top pattern? Cool beans, you are welcome. Absolutely. Yeah, collaboration agreements. They're important. Make them. Sign them. They're good. But only do it when you're at the point that you're ready to do it. Don't do it before then. That would be silly. Uh, More than silly, could be detrimental. But they're great to have for a lot of different reasons. I walked through it in the video and walked through the whole thing. It's fun. It's good. Think Imagine by John Levin. What are we talking about? With Imagine by John Lennon? What? What? What is the topic? I'm confused. Help me out. Or are you a bot? Don't be a bot. I know bots exist. We've stayed mostly away from them, which is great. Love the little niche we're in. Because how many channels are there about musical theater writing on YouTube? 4, maybe? Less? 3? Are we at 3 now? Might be 3. What about bottom top chord patterns? Oh, is it normal to have them? Oh, sure. Why not? I do that in The King's Legacy. In what, 2 songs? Yeah, you can have them. I'd say play with your accompaniment. Vary the patterns. Rhythm patterns, no patterns. Have fun. Play. But yeah, you can use that. Why not? I wouldn't use it exclusively though. Vary things. Because every song should have its own feel, you know? Other questions, mes amis? Feel free to toss them my way. One moment. My goodness. I was doing so well with the allergies, and now I feel like they just picked up a little bit. Darn. Or is it the spirits on Halloween going up my nose? Could be. Not likely. If there are no other questions for today, then we can hop off. This was a lovely topic to cover. It's an important one. As I said, we will do the collaboration boot camp again, probably in January. And if you want to learn about collaborating, how to like present yourself or your show when you are looking to find collaborators, and or like how to find collaborators. That's what that boot camp is all about. Is a 3 day, might have to be 4 days this time. But keep an eye out. We will do that. It'll be great. Dorica or something else for writing. I use Sibelius still. Don't at me. Don't do it. I know a couple of you poke me about that. Yeah, I still use Sibelius, but Dorica's great. When I stop using Sibelius, I will switch to Dorica, is what I will do. So I think whatever you're using is great. I know a lot of people who even just use MuseScore. It's free. Why not? But Sibelius is what I know, what I own, and what I'm quick at. So I will keep using Sibelius for now. It is a good question. So yeah, Collaboration Bootcamp. Keep an eye out for that. That'll be important for any of you who want to know more about this process and start finding people. For sure, for sure, for sure. And all that will be tied in, free event sort of thing, to the collective, to the free tier membership thing. Again, keep your eye out. It'll be fun when I finally get to announce this. It'll be great. Heck yeah, Dorico and MuseScore. Love the combo platter. Gotta do what you gotta do. All right, friends, thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. Next week is a Write With Me session. So come for the hour, 11 a.m. US Eastern Time, next Friday, which is the 7th? Yes, the 7th of November. We're going to do an hour of writing accountability time here with me live. Y'all get me on tangents a lot, and that's fun. So feel free to come and do that. And then the following week, I will be in rehearsal for my reading, so we'll have a video for that week. And yeah, we'll go from there. Have a lovely and wonderful week, everybody. And I will